one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baruch, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning and welcome to the Centers for Spiritual Living Midtown-Alanta, where you are welcome. Whoever you are, whatever path brought you here today, please know that you are welcomed and celebrated. We know who you are. You are an individualized expression of the divine life in which we all live. Your life's opportunity to be someone unique and wonderful. Whatever your ethnic background, religious affiliation, however you know yourself or describe yourself, we are glad you are joining us here today. Such is the nature of life, that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I. So it is. We'd like to have everybody who's listening or watching or sharing this to share this on your social platforms. The other thing we really appreciate is if you're getting something out of this, consider, if you haven't already been donating, to do something as simple as $5 or $10 a month. When we get to the donation part, you can see how to do that easily, but we'd like your help in helping us support this great vision that we've got for CSL Midtown. Our vision is we are a strong, open, globally connected community centered on the clarity of principle. Through teaching, service, practice, we create a safe and respectful environment that supports healthy spiritual growth. And now for a little bit more of who we are, our Declaration of Principles is written by our founder, Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful,
So a practitioner is someone who's demonstrated the ability to use spiritual practice and spiritual laws to bring about great changes in their lives. They've demonstrated they know how to bring about these changes in others when asked. Licensed by Centers for Spiritual Living, they are available to provide you spiritual guidance and support in those areas where you're looking for assistance. You may contact them through our website, cslmidtown.org. Today, we've got one of our amazing practitioners with us to share good ideas and an affirmative prayer called Spiritual Mind Treatment. Welcome, Maya Fuller.
Thank you so much. Greetings, CSL Midtown. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And CSL and New Thought, when we speak about the Lord, we speak about the law. The law is the magic behind this whole science of mind. The fact that in New Thought, we consider this to be a thought universe, that the world is created by thoughts and really by consciousness. And so whatever it is that our main frequency, our main energy level, our consciousness, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, whatever the sense we have in relation to a particular thing, that is what shows up in our body, life, world affairs, and experiences. The magic happens with the law. It happens in our subconscious mind. So what the teaching says is that we have thoughts, we have actions, reactions, all based off of our consciousness. And those thoughts, those words, those deeds, that frequency of the consciousness that we put out there is what we receive in turn. We have experiences in our body, life, world affairs, and of course experiences that reflect the frequency and vibration. That whole mechanism of us kind of experiencing that boomerang of whatever we put out there comes back to us. That is what we consider the law. So that is my message for this morning. This is the day that the Lord, the law, has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. As we move into treatment, let's keep this a joyful smile that I have on my face. Let's put that kind of smile in our heart, continue to have that kind of smile in our heart, to know that we are in the right place at the right time, about to hear the right and perfect message from the right and perfect speaker today. So we just give thanks that we are steeped in a teaching that teaches and holds fast to the truth that there is but one presence, one power in the universe, infinite intelligent life. Infinite intelligent life. It is omnipresence, it is omnipotence, it is omniscience itself. It is everything. And we are one with this everything. We can never be separated from this everything. Everything is everything. Everything is everything. And everything is whole and perfect. It is ever giving. It is ever evolving. It is abundance itself. And so therefore, I am abundance itself. I am ever evolving. I am ever giving. I am ever whole. And so are you. I definitely invite you to take whatever I'm speaking in the first person and accept it for yourself. In treatment, we speak in the first person so that we can accept it into our consciousness for ourselves. So I speak the word that I accept my wholeness right now. I accept my perfection right now. I have a choice at every moment to see myself through the eyes of man, which might be critical, judgmental, might be very evaluative, or I have the opportunity to look at myself using my Christ mind, my God mind, and see myself through the eyes of God, which created me and which created all, and see that the creation of the universe, of God, of the Creator, is perfect. It can never be anything other than perfect because it is creating out of its own perfect self. I am that. I am. And so with that, I am also made in its image and likeness, and therefore I have the ability, been given, thankfully, the ability to ideate for myself, to create in this playground of life what I would like to create by focusing my attention, which is my thought and my feeling and my imagination, focusing my attention upon all of the good that's everywhere. And the more I continue to practice this, the more I begin to see all of the good everywhere. Everywhere. I just give thanks that I have the ability to do this. And I just speak the word over myself right now that I tap into my ability to do this on a constant basis. Wherever I look for, and I seek, and I expect to find the good. Sometimes I might not know, I might not be able to see it right away, but all I have to do is tap into the wisdom, the omniscience of the universe that is within me, and just ask for guidance. Ask to be shown the way, because we live in a universe that is responsive to our requests, responsive to our bidding, really. Ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. There is a universe that can hear me, that can feel me, that is responding to me lovingly. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I have this awareness, and I practice this awareness. By practicing the presence, by being in the presence, by knocking, seeking, asking, by expecting the good to show up. And I experience it. I experience it, and I put my heart into it with laughter, with peace, with joy, with goodness. My cup runneth over, and I am a blessing to myself and to others all around me by seeking the good, by expecting the good, by thinking on these good things. I am that person who lives in that way. This is a philosophy of living the science of mind. New thought. It's a philosophy of living. And I am that person who's living that way. I am. And I give thanks for this teaching. I give thanks for Ernest Holmes, who wrote The Science of Mind and created this organization. I give thanks for the Centers for Spiritual Living that continue to teach this lesson and to empower me and others through this teaching. I give thanks for CSL Midtown for being here and for being a beacon to shed light, to send light out into the airwaves and in this Midtown-Alanta area. I give thanks for the speaker today who we know gives us an empowering message for good to help us be the light that we know that we are. So we just allow wonderful things to unfold through this treatment and through our time together, even beyond our expectations of good. And we know that everything unfolds for the highest and best of all concerned in life, in healthy, life-affirming ways. We give thanks for a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful year, a wonderful decade, a wonderful rest of our long, healthy, prosperous lives, which lasts into eternity. We just give thanks and we let it be. And so it is. Amen.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moment of the holy now, and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the every prayer I've ever known. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe. This peace, this inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it will never push you, it will break down every wall. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe. This peace. For this inner space invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to this inner space. It never knows the past, but in a quiet place you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now inner
Hey, good morning. So it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning. Reverend Mignonne Pollard is a Centers for Spiritual Living ordained minister of religious science. She's a staff minister at the Center for Spiritual Awareness in West Sacramento. She teaches CSL certified classes. She's developed workshops on self-love, taking love addiction, and attaining prosperity using the works of Catherine Ponder. She believes in the principles of the science of mind can change your life for the better. Welcome, Reverend Mignonne Pollard.
Good morning, CSL Atlanta. It is so good to be with you today. Good morning, Vance. Thank you very much for that. And thank you, Maya, for that beautiful, beautiful prayer and lesson. So today we're standing on the precipice of what we know individually, what we know collectively. Sometimes what we think we know collectively, what we think is inevitable, whether it's good or it's bad, it doesn't always turn out the way we think. Spirit sometimes has a bigger plan, a lesson, a redirection. You know, there's a power bigger than we are, and it's always at work. So let's take, for example, the Winter Olympics. Who's watching this with me? Are you watching this with me? Are you intrigued? For me, for the first time in a long time, it's been the men's ice skating competition. And I've joined in on the hype about the quad god, that 21-year-old representing the United States, Ilya Malian. Or I've heard about the snowboard competition, the half pike with Scotty James, the Australian. And then there's just this whole unimaginable idea of the Jamaicans in the Winter Olympics. And it's not just the men now. The Jamaicans now have a team for the women. Well, we have this thing called collective consciousness, where a whole group of us hold a bunch of ideas. And sometimes we feel like this collective idea can help shape the world. And those ideas, whether they are right or wrong, those ideas are sort of out there in the atmosphere. So I'll say we, the collective, sat on the edge of our seats, knowing that no one but the quad god could win the gold medal for the men's ice skating. No one else had a chance. We all knew that. That was in the collective consciousness. And what happened? Well, a series of terrible falls, false starts, under-rotated jumps by all of the competitors, all of them, except one, a young man from Kazakhstan, a young man who started skating in a shopping mall in his country. His name is Mikhail Sardidorov. And all he did, he knew he couldn't win. So all he did was he went out there and he did the best he could. He did his personal best. And through all of the things that we could not see that unfolded in that night, Mikhail Sardidorov, he became the gold medalist for the men's figure skating. And he's an even bigger inspiration now for young people all over the world, young people whose parents aren't Olympic figure skaters like Iliad's. He didn't come to this sport with all the advantages. He came with the desire to do his best. He was just grateful to be there. And Spirit provided a surprise, turning our collective knowledge on its head. So what we think we know, I dare say, what we think we know sometimes does not always unfold, because there is a power bigger, greater, stronger than each of us, even each of us collectively. But I dare say this, it's only the beginning for Iliad. It's not the end. They say that he's already changed the world of figure skating. But on that night of the competition, what we saw was a young man struggling with his own thoughts, the power of thought. He was on the world's largest stage. And we know what we need to know when we need to know it. That's the promise of Spirit. And one day we'll understand why this story of the 2026 Olympics played out this way. But right now we're just standing on the edge of what we know, or what has been known in consciousness for all of us, the collective. What I know for sure is that we say the past presence does not determine the future. What we think we know for sure about the world, and what I believe is or what we're feeling right now, is maybe the world feels like it's turned upside down. So let's take this collective idea that democracy is on the verge of collapse. Maybe it is, but will it unfold? But maybe it isn't. Or maybe it will. Maybe our governing systems will unfold in ways we could never imagine. We believe that there's a power that's greater than us, and that this power arcs towards goodness. It arcs towards fairness. It arcs towards love, and it is ever expanding. It's spirit, and it vibrates. And it's through this knowledge, the knowledge which is accessible to all of us. All of us. But how? By going into the silence. Not only as individuals, but as a community. We can broaden our awareness. We can broaden our knowledge. We can stand on the edge of what's known by mankind, what's known by each of us. And we can know peace and love and joy together. And we can co-create that. I believe our philosophy teaches that the universe bends towards good, no matter what it looks like, no matter what feels like a setback. If you know the truth, then that setback It sets you up for a brighter future. And if we all know this together, that there's a power for good working, then only good can unfold for us. This is what I know. I know that we are co-creators of the world that we want to live in, that we are not blown here or there like a dandelion seed on a summer breeze. So we're sitting and we're looking, and the outside world tells us one thing. The appearances are one thing. We want to know what the future holds. Why not ask the question? But wait, what question? Ask the question. What goodness, what movement, what direction will Spirit send us in? What direction will Spirit pull us towards? You know, it's our nature that we want to know the future. So let's show slide 1, because Howard Thurman in the book, The Inward Journey, says, when we get quiet, Spirit takes us on paths we did not know. He writes in this book, there is an abiding desire to know the future, to see around the corner of the days and years. And even when we say we do not concern ourselves with what will happen next month or next year, that shy insistence still remains. We want to know. We want to know. And what I know for sure is that you may not know what the day holds. You may not know what the month ahead holds. You may not know what good will unfold, what surprise will reveal itself. But what I do know is that we, you and I, have the power to interpret whatever events occur in our lives. And we can look at life with curiosity. We can look at life with wonder. We can look at life and say, we know that this is opening us up to a greater understanding, to a greater good, to a greater knowledge. Because there's a law. There's a law back behind everything. So as some of us watch what we feel like the world being turned upside down, when we think what is right looks wrong and what is wrong people are saying is right, we know this isn't the truth. We can hold a vision for a world of peace, for a world of love, a world free of hunger and poverty. We can know that there is enough for all people and that all people are images of God. We can know that this law of cause and effect that's back behind everything, that this law is always at work. You know, slide 2, Ernest Holmes reminds us in slide 2, in his sermon By the Sea, he says that there is a law that backs up the vision and that the law is immutable, that there is a power beyond our needs, our little wants, that there is something beyond anything that you and I have touched. So find me 1,000 people who know, and the world will not longer be famished. It will no longer be famished. So we are taking with us a vision, an inspiration, something beyond hope and longing. That the living Spirit shall through us walk anew into its own creation, and a new glory will come with a new dawn. A new glory will come with a new dawn. He was closing out his conference in Asilomar, and Ernest Holmes says that we can know this together. And if you find me 1,000 people, just 1,000 committed people who know this deep in their heart, that the law has to respond, that the law will respond. So we go into this silence. We go into an inner sanctuary, and we practice the art of sacred listening, of deep listening. You know, I saw a quote once. It said, we are not called on to change the whole world, but only to take one step in the direction of love. Now, I propose if each and every one of us do this, that we indeed do change the whole world. And together, if we go into the silence, if we put into the law of vision of the world we want to live in, if we collectively hold this vision, that this vision must come to pass. It is so much bigger than if 1 or 2 people know it. What if we all know it, embrace it deep in our hearts? You know, all knowledge, all thought, everything that has been experienced or known It resides in something we call the universal subjective. That's the place where the law is. And we impress upon it our thoughts. It happens sometimes when we meditate together, when we pray together, when we know together that it's possible to live in a world of fairness, of love, of joy. We don't have to know how. We just have to know the outcome that we wish to see. We just have to know the truth, that we can see this new dawn, because we know that there is only one life. That is the life of God, and that our world reflects the true nature of God, and that this nature is good. So deep listening is the practice that I'm inviting you, that this week, that CSL is inviting you to embrace deep listening to the Spirit. You know, I've heard that when we pray, it's us talking to Spirit. But when we meditate, when we find the spaces in between the breaths, when we enter into the silence, we can feel the vibration of God, the Spirit of God. And that vibration leads us into the way we need to go. That Spirit reveals itself to each of us. And this week, the request is to go into a collective silence. I've thought about this idea of a collective silence. You know, we have moments of silence. We take moments of silence. We take a pause to catch a glimpse of something bigger. And usually when we're taking those moments of silence, it's when a tragedy has occurred. And the whole nature of the moment is to take a pause. It's usually around death, when souls leave this world. We stop to pay reverence to their lives. But it's in this silence that we find peace. It's in this silence that we're listening for something bigger. You know, Ernest Holmes, in Science of Mind, he says, we must learn to listen, that no man need go unguided in life, for all are divine at the center, and all are images of the Most High. It is in the silence that the direct revelation of God can easily come to us. Now, I know that the direct revelation of God comes in many forms, but it is in the silence that most people report hearing it most clearly. You know, finally, Eckhart Tolle speaks about the power of silence. He says that the equivalent of the external noise is internal noise of thinking, and that the equivalent of external silence is inner stillness. So whenever there's some silence around you, listen to it. That means just take notice, pay attention. Listening to the silence awakens that dimension of stillness within yourself, because it is only through the stillness that you can become aware of the silence. See, in that moment of noticing the silences around you, you're not thinking, you are aware, but you're not thinking. When you become aware of the silence, immediately there's a state of inner, still alertness. And Eckhart Tolle says, you are in the present. You have stepped out of 1,000 years of collective human conditioning. When you are in the silence, you are aware of your beingness. You step out of the human conditioning into the here and the now moment. And it is in this moment, in these moments, in these times, that is when Spirit reveals itself. It is when we're at the edge of the known that Spirit takes over. Spirit is creative. Spirit is creating. Spirit is moving in ways that we can only begin to imagine. So slide 3. Again, just sticking really closely with Ernest Holmes here. Ernest reminds us that we should think of our lives as an increasing awareness, an ever-growing and expanding consciousness, a never-ceasing progress of individual and collective evolution. There is a value in collective silence, in silent retreats, in those collective moments of silence, in the times that we share, when we share a space of wonder and joy that's beyond words. It is in this space beyond the words. That is where the vibration of joy is, the vibration of peace, the vibration of wonder, the vibration of love. It is beyond the known. It is beyond the spoken word. It is in the collective feeling. So this is the moment, the spot where we evolve as a whole. This is where we create the world that works for all. And we most certainly can. When we loosen our grip on what we think we know for sure, what we think we know for certain, and when we step into that mystery of life, then life unfolds before us. You know, together, we can sharpen our practices to listen to spirit and for spirit to move in those directions. So my challenge, I guess, my invitation, how about that? My invitation is to take a few moments this week and step away from the noise. Increase your time in meditation. Increase your time in meditation, in silent contemplation, and see where spirit leads. No matter where your life is going, no matter what you're facing today, if you take it into the silence, spirit is there. Spirit answers every call. We just have to practice that deep, profound listening. So I'd like to take this message into prayer. If you just take a deep breath, close your eyes if it's comfortable. We know that God is everywhere present, in the known and in the unknown, in the joy, in the beauty, in the prosperity, in the love, that God is moving through me and through each person here as I speak. And I speak my word, the Spirit is revealing itself to each word, leading them, guiding them, moving them to the next right step for themselves and the next right step, the next right highest vibration for all. I'm grateful for the joy. I'm grateful for the laughter, but I'm also grateful for the time alone, grateful for the time in that inner sanctuary of the soul. And right now I'm knowing that all is well. That all is well. And together, we release this into the law and we say, and so it is. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Mignonne, for an awesome talk this morning. So we'll see you over on Zoom in just a few minutes. Thanks. So now it's time for our new minister, Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer, which you can download from our website, cslmidtown.org. Just scroll down, it's there. So say this with me. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of spirit as a principle. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, principle is not bound by precedent. It operates according to law, and it is always available to those who are willing to align themselves with it. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as inspiring spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live as love in the expression of principle. I am awakening the wisdom within me by clearly communicating the principles of universal truth. I am a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy, recognizing the inherent wholeness within all beings. I am offering teachings, classes, and mystical studies grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner wisdom, personal transformation, and empowered living. I'm extending the love, compassion, and transformative power of spirit into the wider community, fostering connections that heal, uplift, and support individuals in their unique journeys. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will express spirit and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. And now it's time for our conscious giving. And like I said in the beginning, if you're getting fed by this spiritually, we invite you, if you haven't already been giving, to consider $5, $10 a month. Something really, really easy to do. You can scan the QR code right on the screen. It'll take you to that, and you can set up that ongoing contribution, or go to cslmidtown.org/donate. That will take you to the same place on Realm and set that up. So now let's say our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. So it is. So got some announcements. Next week, we have Reverend Dr. Cynthia Paulson, who's going to be talking on walking the edge of possibility. I want to thank Maya for being our practitioner today. And remember, in March 1st, we'll be in person, and that's our annual meeting. So be sure to come to the Garden Hills Community Center if you are in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area. And if you're out of the area, we'll be broadcasting it online and have that interactive as well. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. And now let's do our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you over on Zoom to have a discussion with Reverend Dr. Mignonne Pollard.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so